Dillian Whyte's next fight is going to happen October 30th, according to Eddie Hearn. That is right. We have not heard who his opponent is going to be, and no new names have been mentioned for his opponent. So there was 3 names mentioned before, maybe 4. So you had Areola, Charles Martin, and you had Jermaine Franklin. However, there was also rumors about maybe an Andy Ruiz Jr. So out of those 4 names, only 3 were really mentioned, and then rumors of the 4th one would be an Andy Ruiz Jr. Out of those, I would like to see him probably fight Charles Martin the most. And if possible, it would be good for him to fight Andy Ruiz. Because Andy Ruiz came off of his loss against AJ and won against Areola. So it doesn't make a lot of sense for Dillian Whyte to fight Areola, in my opinion, because he just got beat by Andy Ruiz. So moving past that, you also have Charles Martin, who was an ex-heavyweight champion, and he fought AJ as well. So if Dillian Whyte comes out there and just pretty much annihilates Charles Martin, who looks like he has improved since he fought AJ, then that would only concrete him that much more being a top-tier competitor. As far as him fighting Jermaine Franklin, I like Jermaine Franklin. However, he's been very inactive, and he really doesn't have any big names on his record. So I don't really think that fight makes sense for such a high-level fighter that Dillian Whyte currently is, because he is one of the elite of the heavyweights, whether you like him or not. It's just what it is. I would much rather see Dillian Whyte fight Deontay Wilder or Tyson Fury, being that he has been mandatory for so long, lost it when he lost his interim title, and now he is the interim title holder again. Would really like to see him get in there with one of those 2 guys, but they're going to fight each other, so that's not a possibility. So again, I think his best option is Charles Martin, and if not Charles Martin, Andy Ruiz Jr. if possible. So those are the 2 biggest prospects for me. Those 2 do the most. And I don't really think Dillian Whyte needs a soft touch. I don't really think he's at risk of losing to any one of those guys. And the reason why I say that is because I just think he's better than them. And a lot of people want to hold the loss against Povetkin against him. However, the second fight pretty much was going like the first fight. It was total domination. In the first fight, Dillian Whyte was dominating Povetkin until he got caught and put to sleep. But people like to forget, because they have short memory spans, that the round prior to that, Dillian Whyte had dropped Povetkin twice. He had hurt him. He got caught. It's the heavyweight division. You make a mistake, especially against a guy who's a very good counterpuncher and got very hard shots, you go to sleep. It's just how it goes. It's why the heavyweight division is the most dangerous division in boxing. That's why heavyweights have to be on their P's and Q's, have every T crossed, every I dotted. Every time they step into that ring, every time they make a move, every time they throw a punch, they got to be defense tight, or else they're going to go nighty-night. That's just how it is. That's why heavyweights have always been so entertaining and so polarizing to casuals, because of the possibility of knockouts like that. However, when the second fight rolled around, in my opinion, it picked up where the first one left off. He just went in there and dominated Povetkin until he got him out of there. Now, some people would argue that, because Povetkin was sick before that, that had a part to play, and that could be a possibility, or age could have caught up with Povetkin. Those are all possibilities, and I'm not throwing them out, but what I'm saying is, the second fight looked no different than the first fight, which tells me that Dillian Whyte was the better fighter. He just got caught, and sometimes that happens. So at the end of the day, to come back full circle like I always do, I think his best matchup would be Charles Martin out the 3 names, and if you get the 4th guy, Andy Ruiz, that would be the biggest name that he could beat, because Andy Ruiz beat AJ, Dillian Whyte lost to AJ, so it does a lot more for Dillian Whyte to beat an Andy Ruiz than it does a Charles Martin, who AJ flattened in 2 rounds. Let me know what y'all think in the comments section. And don't forget, hit the thumbs up and sub, because it really helps out the channel a lot.